Hey guys, Haz here at Shield Canine, and today we are going to talk about the German Shepherd as a breed. Is it the right dog for you? Should you buy one? I'm going to give you a trainer's profile on the dog, and I'm also going to give you a breeder's profile on the dog. Just a little bit about my experience with the German Shepherd. Over the last 10 years, I've probably had my hand on well over 1,000 German Shepherds. Dogs that we've trained as pets, dogs that we've had in for behavior modification, dogs we've imported from Europe to sell as protection dogs and as police dogs. We've been involved in every aspect of training the German Shepherd, from, as I've already mentioned, behavior modification and pet obedience to competition obedience training, protection training, tracking, and police canine training. All right, guys, so I'm just gonna give you a quick stats on the German Shepherd before I actually get into the nuts and the bolts, the pros and the cons, the good and the bad, and why this may or may not be the right breed for you. The German Shepherd is a medium to large size herding dog. They live approximately 12 to 14 years. The average size of a German Shepherd, as per the standard, is between 30 and 40 kilograms. Females can be as small as 22 kilograms. Males can be as large as 40 kilograms. The typical coat that you'll see on a German Shepherd is a short coat. However, this can vary depending on the specific type of German Shepherd that we're dealing with. The German Shepherd was originally bred from herding type dogs. However, the breed has been adapted over the last 120 years for work in law enforcement, property protection, family pet, dog shows, dog sport. The breed has really evolved into a true utility dog, a dog that is used in a lot of different ways, and a dog that has a lot of different working applications and also just recreational applications. Fundamentally though, the German Shepherd, as originally designed by the breed founder, Max von Stephanitz, is a working breed. It is designed to work. Again, before I start, I want to make one thing really clear. There are several distinct types of German Shepherd. There is the working line German Shepherd, there is the show line German Shepherd, and then there are, I guess, what you would call pet line dogs. If you want to watch the video on that, talking about the different types and the different characteristics of those types, you can watch the video. We're going to post it here above, and you can see that video. So guys, behind me you're going to see, and next to me, a variety of the working German Shepherd. We have all working line German Shepherds here. You're gonna see a long coat. We've got a puppy that's bicolor. You're gonna see several different colors. They come in a lot of different colors. They come in bicolor. They come in black and tan. They come in sable, as my beautiful dog Chico here is sable. They come all black, and there's just a lot of different variations of color pattern that you can get into with the German Shepherd. As I mentioned earlier, they also come in a lot of different sizes. So, you know, you can see that little female there. She is 15 months old, and you can see she's going to be more on the smaller size for a German Shepherd. She's still within standard. The minimum standard for a German Shepherd is 22 kilograms. And as you can see, that little black female Bang, she's going to be closer to that 22 than to the higher end, which is 30 kilograms for a female. On the other hand, we've got a very large German Shepherd back there that you'll see. His name is Coda, and he's absolutely ginormous. He's actually probably a little bit over standard when it comes to the size of a male. The maximum size that a male should be is 40 kilograms, as previously mentioned. So guys, as I already mentioned, I've been breeding German Shepherds for years. And the reason why this is my breed of choice, this is the breed that I have chosen to breed, is because I'm my own best customer. I sell police dogs, I sell protection dogs, I sell family dogs, and I find this breed is the best breed for that. They're extremely trainable dogs. When they're well bred, they're healthy dogs, they're agile dogs, they're athletic dogs, and they're dogs that are capable of doing a lot of different types of jobs, as already referenced. That's the one thing that we really like about the German Shepherd, is it is a true utility breed. You can find individuals within the breed and within specific litters that have the aptitude to do specific things, whether it's an active family companion, a high-level sport dog in whatever bite sport you want to name, a police dog, a military dog. The German Shepherd can truly do it all. Now, I want to be really clear about this, okay? Not every dog can do it all. In fact, most dogs can't do it all. Just like individuals, just like people, they have their specific talents. And their specific talents depend on their breeding and also their individual characteristics. It's not uncommon for us in a litter to see dogs that will make excellent active family companions, and then dogs that have really a ton of drive and intensity that are more suited to police and dog sport applications. But that's the fantastic thing about the German Shepherd, is they're not a single purpose type dog. You can find that spectrum of individual characteristics within the breed and within litters. Now, for me personally, we only breed working German Shepherds. These are dogs specifically selected for their working quality. Yes, there is also a physical standard for these dogs that we adhere to in our program. There's also a health standard for these dogs that we adhere to in our program, but these are working line German Shepherds. We personally do not breed dogs as pet dogs, and we don't breed dogs as show dogs. For us, the focus of our program is the working German Shepherd, and the dogs that we use here all originate, well, I mean, if you really want to be technical, all German Shepherds originate in Europe, but within the last generation or two, our dogs are coming from Europe. As I mentioned earlier, these dogs are smart. These dogs are loyal. And I'm not saying that. A lot of people say that stuff frivolously, but there's a reason why I love to train these dogs for my clients that are looking for these elite top-level protection dogs, because they're actually really, really good with the family. There are other working type dogs, whether Malinois or Dutch Shepherds and various other types of dogs that you can name, that maybe aren't as suited to be family dogs. But because German Shepherds, when bred correctly, are bred for their stability, the stability of character, the stability of nervous system in the dog, they actually really make good family dogs, and they tend to be biddable, and they tend to be really, really attached to the people that they live with and work with. It's not uncommon that a lot of the dogs that we even sell as police canine go home with the officer at the end of the day, live with his family, live with his kids, and actually do very well in that environment while spending the day fighting crime and going after bad guys. So we really, really love the ability that the dog is able to switch between working roles and family roles with minimal issues. The other thing that we like is, as trainers, we get a lot of German Shepherds in here for training every month. And they are a fantastic breed to train. They are very trainable. Not every breed is trainable, right? You can train every breed of dog, but they're not necessarily biddable. It doesn't come easy to them. In good breeding programs, the German Shepherd is selected for its trainability. We want dogs that want to work with the handler. Yes, some of our dogs, again, everything's on a spectrum. Some of these German Shepherds can be very independent, and some of them can be very handler focused on the opposite end of the spectrum. But fundamentally, they are dogs that like to work with the handler. They like to take in information from the handler, and they're motivated by the handler praising them. And that is definitely not true for all breeds. Like, for instance, your average Molliser isn't particularly biddable or trainable, and that's fine. That's not what that breed was bred for. The German Shepherd is bred to do that. The other fantastic thing about the German Shepherd, and this kind of tails off from what I already talked about. A lot of people are concerned about the energy level of these dogs. Yes, you'll see a spectrum of energy levels within an individual litter, depending again on the breeding and the individual. They have the ability, when properly bred and when properly trained and brought up, to switch it on and switch it off. And again, not all breeds, Belgian Malinois, have that ability, right? It's not easy for them. Whereas your average German Shepherd, it's quite easy for them to transition from a high energy pursuit to the low energy, way of being in the house. So that's one thing that I do really like about these dogs. Again, goes back to them being stable family dogs. So the other thing, again, guys, that I really like about these dogs is, as I mentioned previously, they are a true utility dog. You can do everything with individuals within this breed. You can do the police work, you can do the dog sport, you can do the dog shows, you can just have a nice family pet, you can have an excellent guard dog and an excellent deterrent dog. Now, even if your dog isn't capable of protection work, even if your German Shepherd isn't capable of protection work, bite work, what have you, they still make excellent deterrent dogs. The German Shepherd has a gravitas attached to it. A lot of people have a perception. It doesn't matter where the German Shepherd actually came from, what the individual dog's actually capable of. When people see these dogs, they have a gravitas, they have a respect attached to their appearance, to their name, and they make fantastic deterrent dogs, fantastic guard dogs, and they can be really, really good in those capacities. So guys, to summarize the pros, they're smart, they're loyal, they're trainable. They come in a variety of sizes, coat, and character types. They're a true utility dog. They're capable of doing just about everything. You can find a German Shepherd for just about any job. They make fantastic deterrent guard dogs. They make fantastic family dogs. And they have the ability to be dogs that live in your home and dogs that go to work with you. All right, guys, so now it's time to talk about the cons. I want to preface these comments by stating some of these cons only apply to poor or substandard examples of the breed. So good breeding and good selection will avoid a lot of these cons, but also some of these cons are things that are common in the breed. And if you have no ability to deal with any of these things that I'm going to talk about, this is probably not the breed for you. So number one, okay, and this is a very common thing that you'll see in well-bred and not so well-bred individuals in the breed, is reactive behavior. It is very common for German Shepherds, especially German Shepherd puppies, to be reactive. That whoa, 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 whoa barking, whether it's behind the fence, in your house, on the leash, barking at other dogs and barking at people. This is very common, especially while the German Shepherd is growing. Again, correctly raising your dog and training your dog will address this, and you'll have a very well-balanced individual dog as long as you put in that time to the training, the raising, the socialization, and the exposure. But if you aren't going to do any of that stuff, and you just expect the dog to be social like a golden retriever, that is not typical for the breed. You're probably going to have a dog who is reactive. Remember, this breed was developed for guarding purposes, for law enforcement purposes. They are a working breed, and if they don't receive that proper training, these behaviors can manifest, and it can become quite difficult for people to deal with the dog. So again, this is not a breed for you if you're not going to do the right training and you're not going to put these dogs through the right training. The other issue that I see commonly in this breed, and this is again over dealing with thousands of German Shepherds, is fear issues, nervousness. These dogs, when correctly bred, should not be fearful. They should not be nervous. They should be confident. They should be socially neutral dogs. Again, they shouldn't be social butterflies. Ideally, they should be aloof, they should be neutral, they shouldn't be causing problems, but they shouldn't also be seeking social interaction with strange people and strange dogs all the time, right? And that's part of what makes them fantastic family protection dogs, again, when they're properly bred, raised, and trained. But I see a lot of German Shepherds that struggle with fear, that struggle with nervousness, and that is just because of poor breeding practices. Dogs that shouldn't be bred, dogs that are soft, dogs that are maybe nice dogs in and of themselves, but they do not have the strength, the courage, and the heart that you want to see in a breeding dog. Dogs that are bred exclusively for their looks as opposed to their quality is what causes a lot of these dogs to be fearful. We see a lot of German Shepherds that struggle with fear, and the fear often manifests not just as avoidance behavior, but also as that reactive behavior that we were talking about. That bluff behavior, the barking, the lunging at people that they don't know, and being dogs that have low levels of stability and sociability. Dogs that are difficult to deal with, dogs that you have to always manage. And unfortunately, it is a common problem in the breed. So if you want to avoid this problem, make sure you're very careful about where you get your German Shepherd. Make sure you understand the lines you're getting your dog from, and make sure you have training lined up to ensure that, again, you're raising and training your dog properly. So guys, the next thing that we have to talk about is shedding. These dogs shed. All right, whether it's a long coat, whether it's a short coat, they do shed. Of course, if you brush your dog frequently, you feed your dog a healthy diet, the shedding isn't going to be as bad as it will be if you don't do those things, but they certainly do shed, and you better have a vacuum that works. Are they the worst shedding dogs out there? Absolutely not. Okay, I would say they're kind of middle of the road. Okay, there's definitely certain breeds that shed a lot more, and then there's also certain breeds that shed a lot less, but they do shed. So if shedding is a complete if shedding is a complete deal breaker for you, this is not the breed for you. So the next thing we need to talk about, guys, is energy level. Now, I talked about it in the pros, but let's talk about it in the cons. These dogs can have high levels of energy. So if you're looking for a dog to just sit on your couch every day and not do anything, a dog that you don't really have to exercise all that much, a dog that you don't really have to stimulate all that much, this is not the breed for you. When correctly bred, this is a working breed. They need stimulation, they need exercise that is appropriate. They do not need hours of exercise. Okay, that is actually not true at all. A lot of people think that this breed needs 3 to 4 hours of exercise every day. That's nonsense. What they need is an appropriately structured lifestyle with the correct balance of training, exercise, and structure. I have a video on that. I'm just gonna post that up here, and you guys can watch that video on exercise and how much exercise you actually need for dogs like these. Okay guys, so the next big one, let's talk about health. This breed has a very bad reputation when it comes to health. Now I think, to be honest, the negative reputation they have is overblown. All right, especially when you compare them to other breeds like the Great Dane, the Doberman, other breeds like this. They certainly are much more healthy on average than these dogs. But for instance, your typical Belgian Malinois tends to be a little bit more healthy than your average German Shepherd, and there's no getting away from that. So hip and elbow issues are common in the breed, but they're not as common as the average person thinks. Most people think like every German Shepherd has hip and elbow issues. It's something more like 20%, okay? And then that number becomes even lower when we talk about the difference between hips and elbows that are certified for breeding versus hips and elbows that the dog will live a perfectly normal life without having any deleterious effects, but maybe those hips and elbows aren't good enough for breeding. When we look overall at the state of the breed when it comes to health, yes, the German Shepherd does have health issues. However, again, good breeding, only breeding dogs that have good hips and elbows, only breeding dogs that are healthy, right? Going to a program that is using multiple generations of dogs that have that record of health is what's important to ensuring your puppy is healthy. And again, guys, the average German Shepherd that fails a hip x-ray or elbow x-ray is actually not that bad. It's not bad enough that it will affect your dog. It just means your dog shouldn't be bred. Your dog shouldn't be carrying on the next generation. And I always say this to people, leave the breeding to the professionals. Don't worry about breeding your dog. If you're just, somebody that enjoys the breed and has a nice pet or has a nice dog that you do recreational things with, breeding is not something you should be worrying about. Leave it to the professionals. It's always better like that. Things that you can do to avoid health issues, going to breeders that use health-tested blood stock, and then not only that, going to breeders that have good health guarantees. Like for instance, we completely will replace any dog that has a health issue that causes a deterioration in the quality of the dog's life. Again, when we're talking about health issues with the German Shepherds, a lot of people talk about 100 different things. Again, I'm not talking about show line dogs. I'm not so familiar with the show line dogs. And if you're getting just like a random German Shepherd from a puppy mill or something, or from somebody's backyard, I can't speak to that either. I'm talking about the working line dogs. The average working line German Shepherd that is well bred will be healthy and will live a long, healthy life. However, there are issues in the breed. Okay guys, so the other thing that we need to talk about is the sociability of this breed. If you want a dog to go to the dog park, if you want a dog that's going to be a social butterfly, this is not the breed for you. They should be aloof. They should be socially neutral, right? But they shouldn't be also looking always for social interactions with strange people and strange dogs. And in fact, it's quite common to see this breed be somewhat suspicious of strange people and strange dogs. It's in the character. It's normal for them. Again, proper raising and training of these dogs will ensure that they behave well in public. However, there's a difference between behave well in public and be friendly with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes to your house, and be friendly with strange dogs that they meet at the dog park and other things like that. For me, the working German Shepherd is not a breed for the dog park. Not that I really recommend any type of dog to the dog park, but let's be realistic. You could probably take your golden retriever to the dog park. There isn't going to be a problem, okay? Your working line German Shepherds, certainly less common that they do well in those types of scenarios. So again, that would fall more under the category of things that are typical for the breed, but depending on what you're individually looking for in a dog, might not be right for you. Now guys, the last thing I'm gonna say that is negative about this breed of dog, they are so common. There are many, many German Shepherds, and because I think they're like the third or fourth most common breed in the world, feel free to fact check me on that. They might even be the second, but they're up there, top 4 for sure. Because they're so common, there are many, many examples of low quality, substandard German Shepherds, okay? Dogs that don't have the character, don't have the health, don't have the structure, don't have, you know, the things that the ideal German Shepherd should have. Now again, dog breeding is not a factory. You can have a dog that comes from really, really top quality lines, right? That unfortunately doesn't show all the quality of those lines, but they should still show some of the quality. But then you'll get the opposite end of the spectrum where you see dogs that are really nervous, dogs that are so poorly structured, dogs that just don't have what you would want a good German Shepherd to have. And because it's such a common breed, there are a lot of low quality individuals within the breed. So what I would say to you is this, very simple to avoid, be very selective about where you get your German Shepherd. Maybe spend a little bit of money up front to avoid a long-term, problem down the road. It is a 12 to 14 year commitment on average, and you really, really want to make sure that you're getting the highest quality puppy you could possibly get in order to really have the fantastic experience that it is to have the working line German Shepherd. Again, guys, that for me will be the end of the cons. I'm sure some of you guys can think of a few others, but what it really comes down to is this: understanding the breed that you're dealing with, raising and training them properly, understanding what they have to offer, and maybe something that another breed could offer you better. So it really depends on your individual goals, what type of dog you're looking for. But if you're looking for a fantastic family companion, a loyal dog that is trainable, a dog that can kind of be a jack of all trades, a dog that has some nobility, that has a deterrent factor, a dog that is aloof, a dog that is handsome, I think this is a fantastic breed for you. And it is my breed of choice as a family protection dog, as a sport dog, as a police dog. This is my breed of choice. I love German Shepherds, and we're gonna continue to breed them here. I hope you found this video informative and entertaining. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Let us know what you think. I'll see you on the next one.